try here. That works.
Start with the
Push down a
pledge.
little bit, yes.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Actually, if I sit here, you can spread out Sherry a little bit. Okay. I make a motion, we go into executive session?
We'll buzz through it. I think.
Oh, all right.
If I'm
You
here
think we
till
got time?
7:30, I think we're good.
Okay.
That way Joey and them don't have to
Okay.
leave and come back.
That's good.
Approve minutes from 7/20/20, regular meeting. Had a copy somewhere. Sherry, you got my copy or?
No, I do.
I wanted this one.
Oh, that one. I already read through them, but give everybody a chance to look at them first.
What was that, July what?
20.
20?
Anyone got any issues with them?
Only thing I saw, she got Kylie Shawkat instead of Kylie Bissell.
I saw that too. When she said your name.
Oh,
Guess Kylie didn't read them, did she? To do so. I did that before too. That's what I know her as.
Oh yeah, there. I read it 3 times. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, because you know, think Kylie Shawkat too. There.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from July 20th with the change from Chalkette to do so.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Okay, water and sewer. Scott, you're up to bat.
Guess I don't have a whole lot to report on. Things must be going fairly smooth. The only thing I got is a complaint on a ambulance personnel getting water at the ambulance station. That's, I don't know, something we gotta discuss, I guess.
We're gonna discuss it. I've got some information. So when you're ready, let me know.
Okay, I had a complaint from a couple different individuals. So.
I do too. Probably the same individuals.
Maybe, that could be.
Okay.
Other than that, I think things are good.
I contacted, because you brought it up now 3 times in public, I called Gary Snyder, who was town clerk for many, many, many years and was here when this was voted on. The issue was discussed when the new water system was installed. Of course, that's about 30 years now, time flies. It was felt by the trustees that because the fire department used funds they raised by donation to purchase much-needed equipment that more than compensated for any cost of water. Thus, the department was not charged for water. And Tillotson says the same thing, and he was chairman of the board.
So what are you saying? We don't wanna change anything? We don't wanna keep up with the times?
Keep up with the times?
Yeah,
What's that
things
keeping,
change.
how's that keeping, do we have a less water now?
I didn't say anything about less water.
Okay,
did
I just wonder why you're bent on it.
I'm not bent on it. I just thought it's the proper way of doing business.
Well, they didn't think so.
Usually if
back
you
then.
got something you're selling, it gets sold to everybody, not just certain people.
It does. Anybody that wants it from the town or village.
So we ought to sell it to the fire department. That's my point. It's not costing the fire department 1 red cent. It's passed on to the consumer.
Yeah, and then they're buying equipment, as it says here, much needed equipment for the district.
Yeah, what's that got to do with selling water?
I don't know if you don't understand what I
I'm
just
just
read.
saying the taxpayers in Richford that buy water are concerned, and they probably want the fire department to pay for the water if they're just giving it away. It should be paid for. It costs money to process that water. It's
Okay.
not that we have tons of it, it's cost of processing it. If they wanna haul water, suck it out of a brook. Suck it out of someplace where it's not processed. They don't have to use chlorinated water, it's a plus, they ought to pay for it. It's a benefit. You would think $7 for 1,000 gallons would be pretty reasonable. would
As I
think.
said last time, they can raise their price by $7 every 1,000, was it 1,000 gallons? If that's what you vote to do, but that's,
I'm not voting to do it, I'm bringing it up. I
Okay.
think it ought to be voted on, my thought.
well then,
Can I say something?
You say, yes, we, it's up to him.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the 10 years I was on the department here in this town, over $50,000 of that money from some of that water. Bought a brand new pickup truck, this pickup truck broke, it replaced a tanker, it replaced a rescue truck that
It
wasn't
shouldn't
safe.
change that at all, it's not any money
It
out of
replaced
the,
a ladder truck, but
it's
all
no
that
money
would've
out
gone
of
to
the fire
taxpayers.
department.
All that would've went to the taxpayers.
Why come nobody gets my point? It's no money out of the taxpayers, it's no money out of the fire department. The only reason it is money out of the
What
taxpayers.
he's saying is,
Yeah, I know what he's
if,
saying.
if I got a load of
I
water,
know
they
he's
charge
saying
me
add it on to the top of it.
$100, they should charge me $107.
Yeah.
And then
It's-
$7 would go to the town for water and sewer, which makes sense.
That's what
it
you
doesn't-
want, then
It
vote it
doesn't
in.
technically go to the town,
Right,
it
goes
goes
to general
to
fund.
the people who own the water department. It don't go to the general fund because it's not my money, cause I don't live in, I don't own the water, I don't live in town.
The other big thing is right now they're competitive with the other water haulers. That's the problem. They're trying to stay less than the other water haulers. so
No,
they
the other
can-
water haulers don't, they wanna haul from Richford because it's the best water.
No,
I've heard that.
Right, but the other hot water hauler gets his out of Enosburg, that's just the hot water in the
Well, it should be
area.
pretty competitive. The other people are doing it for a business, making a living. The
Right.
town of Richford's doing it to raise money. They should be
To
competitive.
bring stuff back to Richford, not for their own personal gain.
I think they only charge $125 for
They
a
do.
truckload. And I think they charge $250. The guy who hauls it out
Yeah,
of Enosburg
he does.
charges
That's why they wanna get it here.
$250.
He's another 1,500 gallons bigger. That's the big catch for that too. That's, so they're about competitive.
So he's 4,500 gallons? Can't be on
He's a
that truck.
triaxle.
My truck's a triaxle and it's 3,700.
That big tanker they haul is 3,000.
Or it could be the blue one, he's got 4 axles.
Doesn't really matter, let's decide on
I know,
what we're
but I'm
gonna
just
do
saying,
here.
it's just not, we've had a
I don't care what
discussion about
he
a while
is.
back too, about the water. So I just.
Well, it's
thought
only
I'd-
$7 for 1,000 gallons. How many times do we deliver more than 1,000 gallons?
Usually
Every
they have to
load's
do
3,000.
They usually do three.
So what, do you know,
It's an extra $21.
Yeah,
did anyone find any of the documentation of how it was worded years ago or
I
how it
just got
was
it from
written
Gary
up?
because he
and
was
who-
here. And
Do you have
that's
any
the way
idea?
he told
Do
me.
you have any idea like when that took place?
I can ask
Just so
him.
we could read it and.
Well, it was when it was the merger. That's
So
1990,
85,
90 something.
95 probably.
95.
95, no, yeah, because there's something else with garbage that was, it was 90, 97, 98. Well, then, if you're gonna do that, let's finish it tonight, and
Yeah.
let's finish one thing. If you want them, charge them, let's vote on it. It's up to you.
I would, it's only $7 1,000 gallons. It's $21 for a tanker load.
Yeah, and like I've stressed
That's not much
before,
money, and it's enough to make the taxpayers happy that they're also paying for water. And whatever else they charge still goes to them to buy whatever they want for equipment, point blank.
They'll make it fair for everybody.
And then that way, no one can complain about it. We're kind of piecing
we
both
don't,
sides.
we don't charge for water when there's a fire, of course, you know.
No,
that's-
no,
a
that's
no-brainer.
different. I mean, for
That's a
delivering to a
no-brainer,
pool or something
right.
like that, charge an extra $7. If you're bringing water to
I
my
said
pool,
this
I'm not
last
gonna throw
meeting
a
and
fit about
nothing's
$7.
ever happened, so that's why I say let's get it done with
Yeah.
tonight. I said that last meeting, charge them
Yeah.
the $7. Then I
My,
got this from Gary.
my theory is I don't live in town, right? So when I come down here and I get water, I'm taking that from the people who own the water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm just using myself as an example, and I get 2 or 3 loads a year. And
Yep.
every time I come get my own load, I donate $100.
Yep.
But I'm technically stealing that from the people who own the water system, the people who pay Daryl to process it, the people who pay
Right.
for all the piping, and the people who pay for the maintenance on the reservoir. You know, I mean, you technically are taking from them. But is it fair to charge the people who live in the district who own the water system?
Why not?
It's still usage.
They're using it. Well, I used to fill my pool, my hose sometime. I paid for it
You
right
paid
through
for it
my
because-
hose, yeah.
Because you got charged on your meter.
Yeah, that's how when I would have to fill it in the spring, I didn't go a whole new load because it had water in it, and I just let the hose run, and I had to pay for it that way. Because you always have to fill a pool. Okay, so, you can do.
I'm fine with voting on it as long as we word it where the money doesn't come out of the fire department's fund.
They can charge the extra, when they charge the
Right.
people, they can say, so $100 donation, or whatever they say for a donation, and then they can say, and here's the bill for the town.
$20 for water.
Yeah. For water and sewer, for water. Yeah.
It's $7 a thousand.
Yeah,
So if it's a $3,000 load, you could just call it $20. I mean, would it be
Yeah.
easy, just say $20 a
Yeah.
load has to go to the, not to the town, but to the water and
water,
sewer
yep.
department?
it's that simple, then everybody's happy.
Yep.
No one's like going, okay, we're not charging them and they're getting it for free and, you know, they're paying for it. But yeah, they're
Okay.
still making money because they're taking their time to do it too, and they're using their equipment that they bought with their donation money, so.
Want me
So-
to make a motion that the fire department will start paying $7 a thousand for the use of the water to fill pools?
Who pays, make a motion that who pays the $7?
Well, the fire department will have to
Will
do the
reimburse the
collecting
town.
and have to do the reimbursing.
Yep,
So that the fire department, I gotta word this right, because this is why we get all confused 20 years later.
Well, I would say the fire department would have to pay it, but in turn, they're gonna have to collect it from the consumer.
right.
So how do you wanna say it? Make a
That's the only
motion
thing.
To
People are gonna
reimburse
keep
the
track of
water
that.
and sewer department for water,
department,
for water taken or something like that.
reimburse water, not sewer, water department.
Yep,
And that's for pools. I don't know
Uh,
if you, as far as I'm concerned, if somebody's out of water and
Well,
you
that
gotta haul them
happens a lot.
water, let them have water. That's
Yeah,
my
exactly.
feeling.
Yeah.
What if they don't, what if they're not on the water system? Why should they get water?
Because they're out of water, they're going through hardship. Having a pool isn't a hardship in my book.
I know.
Maybe it is.
It is when you have to pay for the
It is when
chemicals.
you own one.
It is when you own
I don't
one,
see
yeah.
the only one.
At $7 per 1,000 gallons.
yeah,
That's what you said we
That's what they
charge.
told me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gallons, reimburse the water department at $7 per 1,000 gallons for, but now we need to specify for water delivered to pools,
For filling pools.
for filling pools, nothing else, just filling
Right.
pools. Because they also have to hose down the street when the ship truck, excuse me, camera,
Yeah. and if
Sprays
they
all
start
over the
doing that,
street.
They're probably gonna get charged
yeah,
for
but that's a
putting raw
community
sewage
thing,
right into the river.
that's helping the town of Richford, saving lives, saving,
Maybe
you
they
know,
all charge
cleaning
the
the place
farmers
up.
for
that's because of you
washing.
farmers, yeah.
Yeah.
$7
Let
per
it air
1,000 gallons
dry,
for filling
give us
pools.
salmonella through the air.
Right?
They do that a lot. They also spray, sometime they used to spray the streets. Obviously, we're just gonna say pools.
Yes,
That's for in town and out of town, I would say.
Well, yeah, they do anything within the boundary. He told us that last time.
yeah,
Well, they got a big boundary, but
Well, yeah, we do, but if one person in town gets it, the other person in town should get it too.
yeah.
Right.
All right, the fire department will reimburse the water department at $7 per 1,000 gallons for filling pools.
Yeah,
Second,
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
no. Okay, vote no.
should've voted on it last week. You were good last week. Well, it's true.
Depends how you look at it. All
Because
right.
nothing's coming out of the fire department, it's just coming out.
You
of
don't have to keep explaining. I got a right to vote. No, doesn't mean I'm mad. I'm not on the fire department.
Okay, we done with water and sewer?
I guess.
Sherry?
Buildings, the clock, I have a gentleman coming next Friday, the 14th at 12:30. We have Paul, Jeremy, and Jordan who are gonna be taught how to wind it once it's fixed.
Okay, Paul Martin,
Yep.
Jeremy, your husband, and who's the third one?
Jordy Greenwood,
Jordie or something like
or
that?
Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah.
And they're gonna learn how to,
Are they all in the fire department?
No, Paul Martin is, Jeremy is, Jordan is not.
I don't think
Jordan
this
goes
has
with
anything
us.
to do with the fire department though, does it?
No,
Okay.
they just, they were showing interest, so.
To wind, learn how to wind
To
it.
wind it and then to also oil it, different things like that. And he said there's a lot of things, if something goes wrong with it, they can call him and
Okay, who's the guy?
he could talk them through it, so.
Who's the guy who's doing it? You know?
I do have it, hang on.
Oh, it doesn't matter, we don't have to put his name in.
Warren, I believe is
He
his
can do it when
name.
he does it, after he does it. so-
Welch, David Welch.
Welch. So Friday the 14th, they're gonna be
Yeah.
here.
And then I have Impro is calling me back, setting up.
Pro, ENPRO?
I believe so. They are calling me back for the alarm on the oil spillage at the fire station.
Oil spillage?
Yes, there is a separator in a manhole, but if oil or fuel spills,
Oh,
it's
it
supposed to
hasn't
go
spilled.
off before it goes to our storm drains and contaminates all of our water. So, and we do not have an alarm at this time, so we need one.
Okay, so this is Enpro. Not having a lot.
And then the other one is Brooksfield is going to be calling me back with a time, and they're sending somebody up to certify the generator,
What, in the,
the
there,
emergency generator at the fire department,
to certify it? It's
to
never been
certify it, to look it over.
Emergency generator.
And at that time, the lady from the licensing, she's gonna come back. So we're gonna,
What licensing? Plumbing
yes, the state, the state.
license
And
for
her
plumbing.
name is
Will come back and do what?
Ann Ross will be coming back while they're certifying it, so she can ask questions if she needs to.
Does she certify? She doesn't certify.
She doesn't certify,
Okay.
but she just wants them to certify it, and then she wants
Okay.
to. I think D&D is coming to look at that pipe going up that telephone pole to see if it's something, it's ours. He truly believes it would be more the electrical company taking care of it instead of him, but he said he'd take a look.
Is this outside?
Yes,
Pole. And why is he gonna look at it? What's wrong with
because
it?
the pipe way up high came apart apparently. We don't ever look up high,
So
but
it's-
somebody pointed it out.
Is it on our property?
It's on our property, but it comes down from the telephone pole and then goes down underground to the wires.
So it's broken?
Yes.
Okay, I
The
think.
pipe is pulled apart and rain's
What
getting
does
in
the pipe carry?
it. Wires.
So it must be the electric, right? Must be-
Yes, it's all the electrical. They don't know which way it goes. They don't know if it goes to,
Okay, so you
This
don't wanna
stuff where it
call, you
goes
don't wanna
to.
call the light company, you wanna call D&D?
D&D is coming to look at
Okay.
it, and then they're gonna contact the light company, and then they'll find out which one is
Okay.
gonna take care of it.
Okay.
He said he'd already take care of that. Still waiting back to hear from the insurance company, because the lady is only there between 8 o'clock in the morning and 1 o'clock in the
That
afternoon.
must be nice.
Well, because of the COVID, they're all working from home, so, I mean, it's, I think I pretty much ran down everything I had to take care of, so.
Okay.
And I did say the insurance company was calling me back too. Yeah,
What insurance, no?
that was about the door being ran into.
Oh, you told us that last week, so.
Yeah, but I'm still waiting for the phone call, and I called again and left another message. And I am all done.
Good, okay, Jacques?
I don't have much, everything's going pretty good there. Getting caught up on all the sidewalk jobs that are supposed to be done this summer. And
How's your new employee?
So far, so good. Seems to be.
I haven't talked to him, but, you know, I see him driving.
Seems willing to learn. He's young and kinda green.
Did you advertise for another guy yet?
I have,
Are you gonna?
we got something I should talk about if we're gonna go into executive
Okay.
session, probably.
Things are, I mean, things are okay right now with 4, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in the winter though.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay, Linda?
Neil, ready? Okay, what do I have? First is the cemetery. First I heard of it this weekend. I think you mentioned something, like you had heard about, they wanted to give up
Yes.
Hillside. But nobody ever came to me, and I'm the cemetery guy, so. This weekend Carolyn Smith called me and said that the Montgomerys were gonna send money to donate, but they heard the town had taken it over, and she wanted to know if that was true. So I said no, but I'll look into it. So I talked to Danny Turcotte today. And, yeah, they wanna give it up. Well, I said, you don't just do that. There's a process. And that process is, that's the wrong process. I got a whole bunch of processes here that, that's about trash. This is cemetery. A cemetery association which isn't owned by a church or ecclesiastical society. Upon dissolution, all lands owned and held by it for cemetery purposes and all perpetual funds, trust funds, property held, less their expenses, may be transferred to the town in which the lands are located. Thereafter, these lands are public burial grounds, and the town shall hold the perpetual care funds and trust funds for the improvement and embellishment of the thing. So yes, if they give it up, the town has to take the cemetery. The word may in here, I've called the Secretary of State to see if there's another option. they pay $10,000 to Donald to mow it. So that would be our expense. He said that they have a board. I said, well, your board should probably vote on it. You don't just say you're gonna turn it over. I said, we would need to sit down, we need all the paperwork. I wanna know how much money they have. They own stocks. They own all this stuff. That all has to come with it when it comes. So it's not just a simple, here, take it, we'll give you what we want. So I talked to him today and he seemed amenable to doing all that. Apparently Mark St. Pierre donated some land. We have all the the maps here and it's all been done, but we have to talk about this a little more. So just to let you know, I'm in discussions with them, but I want to talk to all of there's Evan and Hayden Janes, they're all on the board, and I think we need to get something legal, and probably we'll have to go through a lawyer on that. So that's what's going on with that. Do you have any questions I should ask him, or ask them? Do you want? No? Okay.
That 10,000 is for raking and mowing.
I don't know, I didn't go into it with him, he just said that's what he paid him for this summer.
It's a big cemetery.
I wouldn't want to mow that, it's
It's a hard one.
uphill.
It's a hard one to mow.
It is.
It's a hard one to rake. It's full of leaves.
Yes, it is, it's
Absolutely
full of leaves, and it's not a pleasant, I can see where they want to go
They
get,
weed whack most of it because it's
yeah, around the stones.
so up and down.
And he also said they're going to, they paid for the insurance for this year, that's another $500. They're having the stones cleaned at $11,000. They're having every single stone cleaned. I guess maybe they need it, I don't know. I said, you are paying for that though. Don't commit us to that yet because, well, it's the same guy we have, so it's
From the
good.
building down towards the road and around the near
The circle.
That's all town anyway.
Where? Yeah, I'd like to see.
Hillside is from the building
Up.
up the hill. From the building down, we maintain and pay Donald to do already.
So Donald does that and then he charges
Whatever he charges for that.
Yeah, it's in my
He gives
contract.
10,000 for the upper part apparently. So it's,
that's a
in
lot.
reality, it's more than 10,000.
Yes, it is, because I've got what he's got them individually
Half of
listed.
it, we're already paying him for our section. Maybe
Right.
not half, but it's
Now, why is that our section? Has that always been
It's
that way?
always been the town's.
Is that where
poor?
paupers are buried if they don't have money?
Yeah,
Yeah, so you put them in down
a
there?
lot of unmarked graves
A
there.
lot unmarked, okay. Well, I mean, I guess we have to take it, so there's no less us saying
Right.
no, because we just took Whiteman Hill, didn't we? A couple years ago.
So, I mean, yeah,
I think
over
Stan
what-
Gilmet, with
Right,
that, yeah.
right.
And then, of course, we do East Richford Slide, we do Missisquoi.
The one down here,
Troy Street.
Troy Street.
That's what I meant, I just shouldn't have said Missisquoi. I was thinking of Enosburg, Missisquoi, that's the one I meant, Troy Street. The only one we don't do is the Catholic Cemetery. Okay. I have some issues with some animal control, which I'll talk about if you're going in executive session. I have something about property that we may be talking about anyway in executive session. Cemetery, animal control. I've had a lot of people come to me about garbage and concern about us giving up the contract. So in the same letter, Gary Snyder answered. He said that garbage has always been an issue. The system used when I was there was originally voted on by the residents of the village. When the merger happened, the garbage was set up as a special service district in the plan for merger. That plan for merger was approved not only by the village, but the town. Once it was approved, it then went to the legislature, who approved the plan and became charter of the new unified town. This is the charter, which says that the select board shall set a rate for such service, da-da-da-da. I asked the guy from VLCT, the attorney, I said, does that mean that if it was voted in, that we have to vote it out? And he said, it would appear from the face of the language, because this is in the state has this, that the trash service for the former village area is to be treated as a type of special assessment district, Title 24, Chapter 87, wherein the special services district voters need to authorize the select board to enter into contract for such services on their behalf. The charter appears silent as to terminating the contract, though that's a question that would have to be addressed to the town attorney, regardless of what the charter states. So he thinks we should ask an attorney whether it has to be voted out. And the reason I believe it was voted in, and this is a backwards look at it, because I couldn't find, I don't have millions of hours to look up old stuff, because they probably did this long before the charter, because I remember Randy Shepherd used to do it, right? That was like,
Oh,
what,
yeah.
80s,
Snakes,
70s?
Rats, yeah, mice.
Well, that, yeah, devil, but in this book, I stopped here because it's the first one I saw. It says, moved by Mark Ovitt, second by Ted Weatherby, to have the trustees raise the trash rates as needed during the ensuing year. If you're raising the rates, then obviously you're in charge of the trash, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you understand that, because I was trying to explain that to somebody else, it's a backwards way of looking at it, but,
But I think that the big part about it is no one can put their hands on where it was actually voted on
right.
to
But
make it
Gary says
come
it
into
was.
effect, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Everybody's saying they can't find it, and probably if I didn't, I mean, I work 10 hours a week, I can't spend the whole 10 hours looking up this stuff. I mean, it probably goes back, like I say, to whenever we used to, the men used to pick up the garbage when I was a kid, or we'd go to the dump. So I don't know when that
The
changed, but
village crew themselves.
Selves picked it up.
the dump.
Yeah.
I
On
think
Saturday
when
morning.
they stopped doing it, they must
I
have
don't know.
contracted it out to.
That's
St.
when it
Andrew
happened.
Shepherd or somebody.
Right, and we just-
Probably when we closed our own dump, we started contracting it
Yes.
out.
we just gotta find that out. But I'm assuming, since every year, because I looked up a couple more books, they say they're voting on the trash, that obviously at one point they had to have voted on it, or it wouldn't be voted every year. That was my only justification, that there was a vote, that and that Gary said that, so then when they went to the merger, which would have been 1997, whatever it was, he said it was approved by both the town and village. Now, I can,
I wonder
Keep
how it
looking.
was written when they merged, how they
well, I
must have
looked in the
written it.
merger book, and it said, basically, it says what the statute says,
Yeah.
which is this.
The people that are talking to you that have concerns, I mean, what is their concern? Is their
Yeah.
concern that the town's $97,000 in debt for the garbage? Or is it,
I'm not argue about it. I'm just saying, people keep saying, you can't give up the garbage, you can't give, and so, this,
But
I'm just saying, maybe we should vote on it, that's all. I don't care one way or the other, I'll hire a garbage man, but they're afraid people won't, they're afraid it'll be all over town. The garbage will be all over. He's shaking his head.
Oh, it will be, there's no doubt about it.
He's, yeah. That's all, I'm just passing on, I'm not giving you, I'm not saying anything, I'm just passing on information.
have you ever gone through the list though, of the people who use the service and the people who don't?
But what should be done very simple. If you're in the special district, you own property, you're on it, and it's some part of your tax bill. They do that in the town of Fairfax. I called over there.
You can't do that though, because we're all one. So we have to do it for the whole town. You'd have to do it for the
Well, they do
people
it
who
for the whole
live-
town.
but you'd have to do
Exactly.
it for outside of town too, right?
Right.
Yeah, they do it for the whole town.
Yeah, you'd have to do it
Or
for,
you
Which is
can
the
do
way
the
a lot of
special
people
district
do
like
it.
you do the water.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it that way, it's just
Yeah.
gonna raise everybody's taxes. You know, it's the name of the game.
I know. And it'd probably be costlier for us to buy the garbage, to do the garbage, but,
but my theory is I called and I asked a lot of the people who say that, well, there's gonna be garbage dumped on the back roads and this and that. Well,
already is.
number one, it already is.
It already is.
Number two, all the people who rent in town, those people who own them rental units don't participate in our garbage anyways.
I know, they got
Scott
dumpsters.
Boyce has dumpsters at every one of his places. John Weatherby has dumpsters at all his places. Jeff and Tina Lamus pick up all their own garbage themselves. Those are the three biggest renters who own properties in this town, and they're not part of the system.
Right.
But
So-
they should be.
Well, if they were required to be, they'd have to be, yeah.
And the way
Well, actually-
that I read it the way that it's written up is, you can't mandate anybody to be in it.
No.
That's the way I read it, unless I'm reading it wrong.
Well, you
And
can't because
that's
they're letting
why
people not be in
some
it.
of these people have revoked themselves, because they said, listen, I don't have to be part of that.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why it's so hard, only because you live in town versus living out in the town. I have to pay my own trash bill every month.
Well,
It's,
it's because they have to drive farther, then it's cheaper in the village, obviously, because they charge you
Right,
more, because they're
but-
going so far.
But John already said that he would give people a better rate who are in town, and he would still pick up their garbage. Only thing is they'd be sending him a check instead of the town of Richford a check, there is no difference.
The concerns about
I
what?
don't see why
Where the concern is
the
from.
people would have any concerns on their garbage. I don't see why.
They're afraid, like John just said, that there'll be trash all over. I think that's the biggest concern. Because you can always hire somebody
How-
for your garbage.
But how come there's not trash all over the town of Enosburg?
It's on the back roads.
Same as here,
Same
though.
as here, it's on the back
Same as
roads.
here though, right? Is it any
There's no
different?
difference.
It's on the back roads, yeah.
The people
They're
not-
not-
Enosburg, it's easier, you're already
Well,
throwing the
and
damn,
if they throw it in the village, like here, you
How
pick
come
it
there's
up,
not
you
trash
pick it
all
up.
over Berkshire?
because, I don't know, Berkshire's got their own, Berkshire contracts every one of their people, unless it's a rental, does whoever.
Yeah,
they have all their
And there's a lot of people
individual.
that still, do it.
Well, they do
Guys
that
pick
every,
it
they
up.
do that in Enosburg, they do that everywhere.
It's just, I mean,
Well,
most,
Yeah, they
Montgomery's
could have the
actually-
same thing here too.
Montgomery's got the better setup, in my opinion.
yeah, I
I
believe
think
so.
so.
They do,
too.
but we haven't done anything to get that set up. We need, if we
Well,
want that
land.
set up, we have to do it.
I think people ought to be responsible for their own garbage.
Well, we all
but
do.
in turn have a central place like Montgomery's got where you can
Yes.
get rid of stuff. I'm in favor of both those options.
I agree.
Yeah, me too.
I just, it's, if the system worked, why change it?
Right.
But when you're $97,000 in debt,
Exactly.
that's not a good system, I'm sorry, but if my checkbook was negative $97,000, I'd be scratching my head saying, what am I doing wrong here?
Yeah.
But that's not money we ever can get, because it's not real money.
It don't matter,
Well,
somebody
still
paid for that, somebody wrote that check to the garbage man.
Right, to a point, and then it stopped. You only did it once, and then they don't get their stickers anymore.
Right, but we still
It
pay.
don't matter, that
Well, we shouldn't be. That's
that
our fault to keep paying.
$97,000 got paid,
Right,
one way or the other, I don't care how you look at it, that money come out of this town's checkbook.
Yeah.
but it
And
shouldn't
that-
have.
and
We
that-
should have stopped it. We should have said, we're not doing it any, we take that person off, but we
Yeah,
didn't.
We don't have a
Well,
town
stop
person
it.
riding
Get
around
out
saying
of
that one
garbage.
didn't pay their garbage
Well,
bill, that one
exactly.
didn't pay their garbage
I don't wanna
bill.
drive on the garbage truck every Saturday, so.
And it's an unmanageable business because that employee on that garbage truck is not a town employee.
Right.
We
Right.
cannot tell him, hey, don't pick up at 44 Noy Street, don't pick that garbage up.
Right,
But if we could, we'd be in better shape.
but we can't, there's no.
We
I know,
can't, we
I
have
know.
no proof. And then that person could take us to court and they
Right.
could say,
And they'd
what
win.
do you mean I owe $5,000? You never picked my garbage up.
Exactly.
Yeah, we did. We paid the bill.
Yep.
You can't fight that. We have no proof that we picked that garbage up.
Right. So I don't mean to keep it going, I just wanted to tell you what the latest on it was.
I mean,
No, I'm
I
still
don't, I don't
upset
wanna
for a
see
transfer
garbage on the
station
back
in
roads
Montgomery.
any more than anyone else does. They're scattered up and down the street, but
You really don't see a lot of garbage on the side of the road. It's couches and chairs
Yeah,
and tires.
To me, that's garbage.
And if you
It's
have
the
a
big
transfer
stuff.
station, you can bring stuff like that there, and then you just pay to have it
yeah,
dropped
but
there.
if you have a
Okay.
couch right now and you put it on the side of the street, you could put a garbage sticker on it. John Weatherby's not picking it up.
No.
You pay for a bag.
Yeah,
So if you see a couch on the side of the road somewhere,
There's a few right now.
yeah,
it doesn't matter. That would be there whether you had the in-town garbage service that we have now or we don't have it.
Okay,
Usually if it's garbage, you can go through it and find somebody's name and you can get the state guy here and they're here to pick it up.
we
for
tried that
$5.
once, Chris and I went and knocked on a door and the guy had moved 6 months before.
I know three people that have done it, and every single time the person did not live in the village. They were
Yeah.
people who lived out in the country.
Or another town.
So
I've done it
That's
three-
good. I just wanted to bring it
I've done
up.
it 3 or 4 times over the years and I've always got satisfaction.
Yeah. Well, some people can. Okay, I got one more thing quick. There's been park vandalism down at Davis Park. Scott went and picked up the picnic table. Did you do anything to the gazebo? Okay, there's
Put the railing under.
You did? Okay.
Somebody had it underneath there. I just.
the top.
Shoved
Andre.
it under a little bit more.
Andre, I talked to the parents of the people across the street. They all gathered around. We talked to the kids. Got some names, the usual names, but they weren't the ones that did the picnic table. I told Andre, I love this guy. Told him about it at 9 o'clock in the morning, and by 11 he called me and he knew who had broken the table. There's some complications, of course.
They knocked down one of the bird conservation birdhouses they have.
Oh, yeah, I saw
They tore
that.
that down.
I saw
smashed
that.
it.
Yeah, and they're a group that's down there. I talked to some parents. I talked to some parents up the hill, said your kids are down there and I'm having the cops there all the time. You need to know that. So, but by 11 o'clock, he knew who did it. He knows the name of every kid. He knows the name of every parent. The little kids were telling me, oh, he brought us slushies the other day. I mean, he's right in there. I can't say enough about this cop. I was knowing, I mean, he can tell you who lives in every one of the crossing rooms and every one of their kids and who they're related to. I mean, he doesn't even live here. So anyway, this guy that broke the picnic table, he said, what do you want? Money? Or I said, I just want him to somehow pay for it. And he says, well, the problem is the kids, the person that told is afraid of him. So he can't get a written thing. But he says, I'm paying him a personal visit and we'll see if that ends. And heard from the neighbors down there that things have cleaned up this week, so hopefully it'll continue, and he's right on it, so. But he also found some needles down at the playground, so we're gonna have to address that. And
How old was the kid that smashed the picnic table?
18. Yeah, of course. And got nothing else to do, you know, and you'd recognize some of the names of the kids they're intimidating the little ones, they're taking the swings, you know, putting them up so they can't reach them, and all kinds of stupidity. But he's now been visiting their houses, so I think that might help, because they know he's aware now. And I went down and talked to some of the parents and I said, you know, you guys need to watch this place too, because if you want your kids to play here, we don't want to close it. So I think it's helped a little. I hope we don't get another run on it, but there's a broken picnic table, broken park bench, and they broke something off the gazebo, and they leave the lights on all night. So I was gonna ask, does anybody know how to keep John, the lights in the gazebo, can we shut them off?
I think there's a circuit breaker box up on a pole right by the street that controls all those lights.
So, can you do it?
Probably, you mean you
I mean,
want to shut them off so nobody.
Just shut them off. They don't need them on. If we have an event down there, we'll turn it on at night, but they don't need to sit there and leave them on all night in the gazebo. And the next thing, they'll be breaking those, so. But it's been better since I talked to Andre, but we'll see how long it lasts. But he's right on stuff.
Time for more cameras.
Well, I don't wanna say about the cameras. They know we have cameras. I've told the parents there's cameras.
Joey, you got anything?
Yeah, I got a question for Scott. Scott, water down at the trailer park. Is there any more water bills coming to the tenants, or are we gonna start going directly to the landlord?
I think they're all going to the landlord, starting with the next billing period, I believe, but I'd have to check with Kylie and Alan for sure.
I'm just curious because he's starting to bill us for the water starting,
Already?
yeah, next month. And I don't wanna pay water twice.
Right. As far as I know, the landlord's gonna start getting billed.
Okay,
But I
so
don't
we
know when the cutoff time
That's
was.
why I was asking.
I can check and find out when the
So
cutoff
next
time
billing.
was.
January, February, March, you get 4 times a year, right?
Wait, till-
Two, I'm working on 4.
But right now it's
It'd be
2.
so much nicer out 4
Oh,
times a year than
Yeah,
a lot of
twice.
people would like that, yeah.
I'd like that.
Uh-huh.
So in September, he's gonna start billing us. And it's raised the rents down there $72 per trailer.
Per month?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more than I pay in my water bill. I'm not impressed.
That's your fight with him. He's.
Oh yeah, I'm not taking it to you.
But-
I just wanna know when, if we're gonna get billed again, when they're getting red, or if we're gonna see another bill. So
That would
I-
be for September, October, November, right? And
You
you get it.
just got a
You
bill.
just got one in July, and the
Alright.
other one's gonna be in
The other
December.
one was due in June, yeah.
Yeah, the end of June,
So-
so your next one will be the end of December, but that should go to him.
They're due by the beginning of December.
Beginning of December.
Yeah, it's right before Christmas.
Yeah, just before Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's before the
Nice planning.
landlord, but I can check for sure to make sure.
Yeah, because he's gonna, just September 1st, we have to start paying him water bills, or water, so that's why I was just curious.
So you gotta pay,
November probably. it
so if
is.
it's set, he's charging you $72 a month for 6 months, that's 400
Yeah, it's a lot more than I pay now.
and something dollars every
It's
half.
$17 more a month right now than my water bill is.
That's what I pay is for twice a year.
Yeah, I don't use that much water.
You don't,
I'm not home half the time.
right.
I'm living somewhere else using somebody else's water more than I'm using my own. No, alright, I will,
So that would be September, October, November.
you could just let,
I'll find out from Kylie and Alan, and I'm pretty sure that he'll be paying this next one, but I'll
okay,
check
that's
just
all I
make
wanted to
sure.
make sure of.
Hey, John, you got anything for us?
Several things.
Come on, don't all yawn.
Sorry.
The 4-digit number, you said you got it, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's on, I'm sorry, it's on my computer.
I should have water glass.
Police sent it to me the very next day. Just remind me when I'm at my,
That's one of those.
I gotta find it.
And what
don't
did
remember.
we decide to do about attorney for zoning?
I got that. Well, I was gonna, did you try calling me a couple days ago?
Yes, I did.
Tried calling you back. I got it on my phone.
Which attorney are you talking about, John?
To take zoning cases there.
To take zoning people to court?
For zoning enforcement,
Yeah.
On August 12th at 10 a.m., me, you, and Kylie are gonna have a conference call with him.
August 12th at 10, okay.
And then on August 19th at 10 a.m., he's gonna come here and meet with us in person.
August what? 19th
Yeah,
at 10 and meet with you in person?
me, John, and Kylie.
Okay. Regarding the zoning enforcement.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Brian Monahan, or
Monahan?
Monahan.
Yep.
And of course, I'm also still complaining about the 4-wheelers that are tearing up and down the street still. And I'll tell you my experience with calling the sheriff. A week ago, Friday night, at 9:30, there was one going up and down the street with no lights on. And I didn't do anything, but he came over and stopped in front of the blocks.
He did the four-wheeler.
The 4-wheeler. So I said, well, there's a good time for the police to get him. So I called. They drove right by twice, never stopped. And then a little while later, somebody came on a bicycle, threw the bicycle on the 4-wheeler, took off with it.
Like stole it?
Well, I don't know if they stole it.
Oh.
Okay, so I'll answer that as best as I can. My pain is worse than your pain. And in executive session, I got a few things I want to talk about, and then that's about all I can tell you. But
So like quote you, my pain is your
Same
pain.
thing, John. I was standing
I
in front
can-
of a store that the door was wide open and I couldn't get a cop to come
I can show
in the
you
middle of the night.
probably
So
30 emails that I've sent, responses that I've sent. I'm done. I'm at my wit's end. I'm ready to say I don't know what else to do.
Now
And
Rogers,
yesterday, there was
wanna
3 of
cancel
them
the police conference?
riding up and down
I have
on 2
no-
wheels in the afternoon
I have
here
no idea
on
on
I have no idea what more I can do.
Roger told me that last weekend, he and the state police were doing a double whammy. Nothing happened, nothing was,
Okay, so I had a hour conversation plus spent 4 hours writing an email on Thursday. I went on vacation on Friday. I didn't think about it. I did think about it, but
you
I
tried
didn't.
not to.
I tried not to. And I said, I wonder what's going on in Richford this weekend. I wonder how many complaints we're gonna have. I wonder what's going on. So I let it go all week, then all this week, and then I called him tonight and I said, hey, how did everything go last weekend? Boy, I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to look into that.
is this Roger?
I said, okay, so that made 7 weeks of me calling. And then he said, well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have that sheriff come to your meeting tonight at 6 so he can hear the complaints. And then I said, you can send him, but I don't know what good it's gonna do. And he's not here, so. I don't know what else to do. I know you love Andre and.
I love Andre. I didn't say I love the rest of them, I said I love Andre.
he does a great job.
He's in the daytime though, and he's the
Yeah.
one that got the little go-karts off the streets in the daytime. You're not here in the daytime as much, but they were driving golf carts and he got a lot of that taken care of. But he's not here at night and he's not here on the weekends. And
Anyways,
Roger told me, he sat right in the office, he and another cop, and they said, we were working with the state police last weekend, they were gonna have some,
they didn't work with the state police because I spent an hour and a half tonight before my meeting on the phone with the state police. They never contacted one another about it. So anyways,
okay.
you can yell all you want, John, but I'm gonna yell with you, so.
But I think it's not fair for the rest of us taxpayers to have to put up with all this noise and stuff when you made that ordinance for those people. There's a lot more of us that don't have a 4-wheeler
Yeah, but it's,
running up
It's
and down
not
the
the,
street.
or
not
it's not
the
those
four-wheeler
people.
Yeah,
those
it's
guys
not-
are legal, they're doing their thing, they're not in, on
This is
town
gonna
racing in the
happen
middle of the night, they're home in
without
their
the
bed sleeping.
ordinance.
Oh, it would, but it's more than it did before.
Right, yeah, because there's more people out, yeah.
Yeah, but
Because they don't
could it be
understand
just
that
more
they,
people in town that are doing that versus people that weren't before, more people moved to town, there's a lot of new faces in town.
well, they all use their stimulus checks to buy four-wheelers.
And that's something too, yeah.
My friend owns Bunos, she says they can't get any, they've been out of them for all
I mean, I
summer.
know you were at the meeting, I can give you the date, you can pull it up, but we sat at this table and there was cop after cop, border patrol,
Yep.
game warden, sheriff,
They
state
encouraged us.
cop, and every single one of them said, oh, we're gonna be, it makes it easier to enforce it. We're gonna be here. The guy from Vasa said he would I'll donate money to the club. The club will have, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, the guys from the club said we'll knock on doors, we'll police it, and I think as far as their club goes, I think they're doing great.
Yeah.
But it's these other ones that are, they're not part of their club, so who goes after them? You know, I don't know.
Exactly. And it'd be the
That's-
same people that would go after them if there was no club in town. It should be this, the police.
They're not,
So,
yeah, they're
we-
not the
The same one I've
four-wheeler
been
club.
complaining about. I mean, I've had 7 years of four-wheelers and motorcycles on my dirt bikes on my hill.
So we need, I guess what I want to talk about in executive session, we've already talked about it, we need to pick a day tonight that we can have an executive session meeting with Roger, Grismore, the Vermont State Police, Jerry Pardon,
Yep.
and our board.
Yep.
And we have to address our concerns to them. I had a long talk today with Jerry, and we gotta figure it out. Because I have also, the new contract for the sheriffs is due, it was due like a few days ago, we're supposed to sign it and give it to them. I don't feel like we should sign it, we need to come up with something.
Right.
Yep.
I personally myself will not sign that contract because I'm the one who's doing the emailing and the calling and fielding the complaints and trying to make people happy, and they're not working with me, I'm not willing to work with them. So, someone's gotta change.
And you know, if we all feel this way, can you imagine how the people in town that,
I get it, I mean, I understand him coming in and complaining, I get it. But we're spending that money, we need to feel like we're getting something for that money that we're spending, or we might as well just save the money.
yeah. We need policing in this town. I mean, it's not that it's a horrible, bad town, but it still needs to be policed. When somebody's being broken into, different things, a cop better show up. I mean, seriously.
Well,
What
that's
are we
what,
paying all this
you
money
wanna
for?
trade in the four-wheeler issue for not having any coverage when things happen. I mean, we had a little girl strangled the other night, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
There's stuff going on every night in this town.
We've
Yeah.
had some interesting.
And it's the same with every town, but if you notice, all the other towns are canceling their contracts too.
How come
Why?
they don't write any tickets?
I have no idea.
And they don't write tickets.
How many
If I
times,
buy them 100 miles an hour,
have
they're
you
gonna stop
asked
you.
about cars parked on Troy Street on the sidewalk?
Yeah, all the time, and
Two
they're
or
still
three
there.
times
They're all
you've
still
been
there,
here.
and nothing ever gets done.
Yeah,
They drive by them, look at them, continue
They're
on.
still there.
Are they illegally
Never's
parked?
changed.
Yeah, they're all on the sidewalk. People are walking around them into the street and almost getting hit. I almost clipped somebody one day. A
Call
kid
Ricky,
stepped out between them.
A year and a half ago, we sat upstairs and we talked to them about
Right.
people being drunk with open containers walking up and down the street. I came to town 2 weeks ago. I should have took pictures. I counted 5 different
people
people with
mentioned this
alcohol in their hands walking on just the main street. That's not even counting who might have been out on the side streets. That was from the park to the crossing.
Yeah.
There was 5 people. One guy had a fifth of liquor in his hand. I mean, and the cop is in town on that night. The cop was in town. How is that even
You
possible?
sit at the station and watch them drink across the street on the steps, and
They
the
sit
cops
at the
sitting there
border
watching
patrol
them.
station a lot too.
No, but I'm saying if they're at the station, there'll be people across the street drinking.
Yeah, they don't do anything. They sit there
And
watching.
we,
Do they need backup or something before they'll stop and?
Border patrol will help them.
we pay, we're right now,
Don't get it.
I have it on another paper, so I was gonna talk about it later, but whatever, it's fine. We're paying $6,200 a month. Their average has been 5 tickets a month. So we're paying for $1,200 to have a ticket wrote.
Yep.
And I understand, like you said, Andre's taking care of some stuff during the day, but
He's taking care of quality of life and children.
Correct,
He's doing well.
correct,
If we
Which
could
I'm
hire
very
him
happy
as a
about.
town cop, I would go with
correct.
that.
He's not, but
He
don't,
ain't gonna be a
He's
town.
working on the schools down.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
not.
he's in the school
He's
in the
not gonna
daytime,
be
yeah.
here when school comes back in the
Right.
session.
Right.
We're just fortunate we've had him this
Right.
summer.
Yeah.
We normally only would have had him for like 60
Right.
days and then he's back to the
Right.
school.
Right.
But school's been out since March, so he's been in town.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But imagine if we didn't have that coverage.
Oh my
he's
God.
done, I can't tell you the incredible,
He's done
I mean,
good.
I've just got lists of things he's done that I'm just, wow. But that's quality, that's not four-wheelers, that's a different,
But the softness of, we'll buy him a slushie.
Yeah.
that's
He's-
the
he's-
way
he's-
you do business.
He's
I'm
mingled
sorry,
into the
guys.
town. That's the way you're supposed
You
to
do
be.
that as a teacher, you do that, how do you think you get information?
Mm-hmm.
You buy slushies,
Okay,
okay? That's it, that's the bottom
For the
line.
adults, you give them money.
Oh, no, I think that's a great idea, I think, because
He knows
he's
every
mingling
single
with them.
kid,
He
every
knows them.
situation.
okay, so with ATVs, what do? Give warnings?
Give him a slushie, give him a slushie.
Buy them 2 slushies.
Start getting them to write your tickets on your ordinance. Figure a way to get, if you get a, I don't know, I don't remember who got in constable, but constable can write town ordinance tickets. or
I
they
got
used to be
8
able to.
weeks worth of emails, Joey. I don't know how to get him to write a ticket.
What I'm saying is, you used to have a I don't know who the constable
They
is
took,
now.
her husband.
Jeremy's, they took that away from the constable.
No, they
because-
didn't. Who
Town
did?
ordinances, they can, they used to.
No,
be able
they
to
used to
write
write
parking
tickets
Because
and
they
stuff.
said Larry wasn't allowed to write
No,
tickets
that's
anymore,
not
they
true.
took it away. That's why we don't have a ticket. Weren't we looking into new tickets? That the
You-
sheriff was gonna do?
I know when Josh Aldridge back in the day, when he had it for like 2 months, he went out writing parking tickets.
He wrote,
for the winter thing.
And then he quit.
Right, but I'm
There's
just
never
saying,
been a time, and I've been on the board since that time that he was elected, never been a time we told the constable they couldn't write tickets, believe me. Anytime. In fact, we could pay him.
Who was here saying that?
Somebody that was making it up. We'd never
they
taken
didn't have
anything
policing
away.
powers, but you can write under ordinances.
I don't know.
Anyway,
But for $75,000 a year,
you know, I was looking
somebody
at,
ought to write something.
Yeah.
I was looking at the minutes today, and in earlier, like 2004 or something, they paid the state police $54,000 for 3 years in a row contract. I didn't think you ever paid the state police. The town of Richford paid the state police
Yeah, yeah.
$54,000 a year.
Extra protection,
Used to
extra
have-
I
coverage.
think it looked like it just was protection. I couldn't believe it. I didn't think we ever, it was Philippek was the cop at the time. I was reading that and thinking, huh, that's weird.
Anyways,
Yep.
sorry, John, but I'm doing everything I can do.
I'm sure you are.
And I just found out the other night that they got a new rule with the sheriffs, if they have the same rules as state police, they're not allowed to chase.
Yeah. But how about video footage?
We've got it. We
Oh,
got
I know.
video.
I'm not saying, I'm just passing that along to you.
In one
That's why
night,
we got it.
in one night, I was in town for 1 hour, 7 ATVs went across the bridge.
Not a single one with a sticker or helmet or anything. I watch all that.
Exactly.
I sit at the station and
It's
just watch.
perfectly clear on the
Yeah.
camera.
I sit at the
Perfect.
station and watch it all happen downtown.
If I went and robbed that store right now, the first thing the state cop would do when he got there, he would ask them, "Do you guys have security cameras?"
he wants
Oh
us.
yeah. Rewind it, find my footage, and that's how they would arrest me.
That's how we found the person that set the building on fire out back of John's that night. It was, they took the video surveillance.
So I don't know how that video surveillance don't work for
I just had it
a
upgraded.
warning don't work with
No.
these delinquents in this town.
We
Warnings and make buddies with them, it doesn't work.
Back in the early 2000s, they used to actually bring a flatbed to town and the full load went to the state police barracks.
Yeah.
To an impound yard, and you paid your ticket.
Yeah, and you learned your
Then
lesson.
you paid your ticket, then you picked your machine up. Cause I remember 3 of them went across the bridge onto the island and they took them.
Yeah.
They cost like $500 a machine.
Yeah, and you learned your lesson real quick.
Yep.
The way it should be.
But apparently we don't write tickets no more, we buy slushies.
Yeah.
It's true. Okay,
Where's my slushy?
you need to go into executive session for what?
We
I
just
got
about
one.
that
Wait a
thing
minute.
you had read.
I just got one more thing. What?
I can't hear you.
About the thing that you had read, I'd given you the copies of the letter.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
so that's a personnel,
Yeah.
ambulance personnel.
Can I just say that I signed us up for getting those
Mask?
free masks? Yeah, they give you 25% of your population. The state sends you free masks and we can distribute it however we want. And I also, tomorrow, I'm gonna, at 9 o'clock, they go on with the extra $1,200 for COVID pay to first responders, and it includes fire departments too. So I'm gonna go on and just see what the protocol is, and see if it's something we could apply for. That's it.
Okay, I'll make a motion to go into executive session to discuss, an issue with the ambulance personnel.